And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for round number 4 of the MEA RSR Cup here at Silverstone, the Grand Prix circuit, as we get to the final 2 rounds of the MEA series as we get closer and closer to the end of this year. But what an event we'll have here tonight. It's in the dark, and not only that, it's a reverse grid, so the qualified drivers will be completely inverted around. The drivers that did not qualify will have to start at the tail end of all those drivers that did qualified up to this point for today's race. Let's get to the starting lineups for tonight's race. And it's going to be RZX Warren on the pole. And he's going to have an opportunity to set the tone here today. But alongside him is going to be his teammate, first timer here at MEA, RZX Ultra. As the 2 RZX drivers will start on the front row alongside one another. Behind them, it's JRFE Blade, a pretty consistent driver here in MEA. When we talk about making appearances, he's going to have rookie sensation, MEA debuting in this series, Ronaldo Pina in the 4th spot. Behind them, it's going to be Riddle U. And Riddle U, he's been a regular this season as well. He's going to start in that 5th position alongside FSM Gray. And FSM Gray, he's had some great battles in this series amongst the man of RZX JJ Reds, but there's a man between them. Missile Vision made his first appearance not long ago. He's going to start in that 7th spot here today with RZX JJ Reds. We just talked about him in the 8th position. Followed by them, it's SMX Savitar, longtime MEA competitor. He will start in that 9th spot, and alongside him would have been Trans Autumn, but Autumn could not make the show tonight. Neither could Diamond Man 2014, so that brings Adler Girl IG up to that spot in the 10th position. Behind them, it's going to be Remix. And Remix, he's had a really great season so far here in the RSR Cup, currently in the top 5 of the points chase. Looking for some good results here today, but what a battle is going to be for them. This is going to be the first time for some adversity for these top drivers as they have to start from the tail end of the field. Could it create some action? Probably. Could it create impatience? Probably. But patience is the name of the game, and if you're impatient, you might see yourselves as a problem. But alongside Remix would be ESV Bobberts. Bobberts not having the season he wanted to have up to this point, struggling these last few weeks, hoping to bounce back, but a challenge for him as well as he starts to the rear end of the field. It's going to be ESV Cards, made his first debut appearance in years last week. He's going to start in that 13th spot alongside RZM Sean, the points leader, and the fastest time in qualifying, ESV Barcode, who picked up his first win last week at Indianapolis. Following them will be ARC Samuel. He did not qualify, but he's the first of a couple of drivers that will be making their appearances here tonight. I did see Sparky Motors briefly, but I don't know if he's showing up or not, so we'll give him a minute. He was actually supposed to be in the next slot, but he's got 3 minutes to show up or he will not be racing. So we'll let him know that. And then it'll be RZX Cam, and I don't see, oh, there's Cam, I'm sorry. Cam's right there, and then SMX Ghost I will round out the field. So that should be the starting lineup here tonight. We'll have a few minutes here. And we just gave the drivers the final 2-minute warning for today's race. 2 minutes for the drivers to make their final adjustments prior to the start of this race. So 2 more minutes and we'll be going green here for 28 laps, 27 in total. The 28 includes the pace laps, so 27 laps here for today's race here at Silverstone. One quick stop and a lot of darkness around these drivers. The big question is these drivers that have been up front all season long, they're going to start at the rear of the field. They're going to have to finally fight their way through traffic. It's going to be a big factor. RZ Armstrong currently points leader. Could we see some issues for him along the way? Possibly. The question is, can they be patient enough to get through the field slowly, not try to get into any problems? The big factor as well is the braking differences between some of these drivers. Some of these drivers brake a lot earlier than others. Patience is the name of the game. With simulation damage on, you gotta be careful out there because this track is a very big track. If you get damage early on, it's a long trip around the speedway, and that's something you don't want to see happen. So we got another minute here. And Sparky Motors did make his appearance. So Sparky Motors will start at the rear of the field. I'm not trying to be a part of this race, but he will start at the tail end of the field. So once he gets into the correct car, we'll be able to get this thing underway. As Sparky now gets into his car. So we'll have 19 drivers for round number 4. What a great field we've had all season long. We've seen nothing less, but I think maybe 18 drivers a single week. It just comes to show you there's still people wanting to compete here in Forza Motorsports, and we will continue to provide the racing action here at MEA, and hopefully once the new game does come out, we'll be able to provide more along the way. So always glad to be a part of this. It's glad to see that people are still into it, and not only that, very competitive fields nonetheless. But today's gonna be very interesting, that's for sure. So once Sparky gets in his Porsche, we will get going. Everybody else is ready up. It's gonna be fun to see the start of this race. I know some of you are gonna be wondering how these guys in the back are gonna deal with it. And we lost Samuel, so we have to get Samuel back in here. So that is the start of something we don't want. So we will try to get him back in here. Sparky was still trying to get his car set up. I don't know what Sparky's doing. And looks like we lost Sparky too, so we're just waiting for those 2 drivers now. Oh boy, oh boy. It happens. It happens. So we'll just have to double check the lineup once Samuel gets back in. RC Samuel, I believe, is in his spot. He is. He should be good to go. Give him a minute to load back in. You know, this series has been nothing but exciting. We've seen a lot of battles on track. We've seen a lot of action. It's been really interesting, just styles of driving, the competitive aspects, the drivers getting near one another, battling, and the growth of each driver. As you see Ghost making a final adjustment there. So we are going to go green once Ghost readies up, because we cannot continue to wait much longer here for late time drivers. Unfortunately, as much as we want to have everyone here, we do have a deadline, and we need to get going. So 18 drivers ready to set the show. It's RZX, Warren, and Ultra on the front row. And we will not wait. We are gonna go as 18 drivers take the stage here for round number 4 of the MEA RSR Cup. Who's gonna bring home a race win? Could we see a new race winner this season? I hope to see a really good race. Could we see a recent winner? Always, always. But Adler Girl has a great opportunity to really cut through this field early. She's one of the fastest drivers this season that's been up front. She's been very, very competitive. Top 3, I do believe, in the points right now. And a great opportunity to try to get some more points to tag along. But Sean's going to need to stay within reach of some of these drivers as we get ready to take the pace lap here. RZX Warren. So 18 drivers set to take the stage. Sparky Motors was not able to ring the bell. So they'll get around their pace lap. So we always get the nice evening sunset type of view. I know sometimes the drivers will say, well, that's not the view we got. The reverse grid week's always an exciting week. Gives drivers that don't normally start up front an opportunity to try to go at it and set some really quick times and maybe get that race win that they haven't gotten before. It gives those drivers that's been up front the challenge to fight through the field and really earn those spots to try to make their way to the front and get that victory. It's always a gamble race. It's always one of those races that can decide a championship as well. How do you handle yourself? RZM Sean really doesn't need to fight through the field too much to start this race. He's got a good points lead. So how will he handle himself? Barcode, who's missed one race, lost a lot of points, did get points for the second round. But he finished like 20th in that race. So that's a lot of points lost. As we make our way around the racetrack here. You know, the other drivers too, Adler and Bobberts, they're tight in the fight right now in the championship hunt as well. How are they going to handle themselves starting closer to the front of these other drivers that they normally don't have? We had 22 drivers scheduled for today's race. 5 of them were missing, or at least 4 of them went missing. But all right, they're going to start doubling up at this time. Hopefully everybody gets the memo. And it looks like they might get spread out. They're supposed to drop it down to 40 miles an hour to try to bring the field together, coming to the green. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, one more round after this in the RSR Cup Championship race. It's the reverse grid here at Silverstone. RZX Warren and RZX Ultra on the front row, and we are green flag racing here at Silverstone. So far, so good. We'll hop back and get on board with RZM. Sean Triareffi Blade throws a slider for the race lead, and he'll take over the first spot. FSM Gray in the 3rd position with Ultra dropping back to 4th on the initial drive. As we hop on board with RZM Sean, he's in the middle of the pack right now, currently running in the 10th spot. Get to the outside of Missile Vision. Oh, but they get wide. It looks like 2 or 3 drivers get wide. Adler Girl being one of them. That could have been Bobberts as well. I'm not 100% sure. But Sean doing a good Dyson Brittle unit now to the inside as he bumps door to door with Sean now. About 4 or 5 cars here duking it out. Bobberts was the other driver having issues early on with Adler Girl. And the top 5 in the championship really trying to get through this field quick. Looks like Bobberts was to the inside. He'll lay off. Currently falling back in that 8th spot right behind RZM Sean, who takes over the 7th position now. And there goes RZX Ultra. He's on the outside of this balance to get to the S section. Ronaldo Pina, he's up to the 4th spot as well. He's doing a great job. One of the drivers that usually in the back started closer to the front. And now he's going battling with RZM Sean for that 4th spot. Remix goes to the race lead. We forgot about Remix. Remix takes the pass on FSM Gray. So Gray had the race lead. Remix will take it over, and what a great opportunity for Remix now. He's been a really fast car all season long. Can he have an opportunity here to get away and make something happen? And last week's winner, ESV Barcode, still outside the top 10. He's currently running in the 11th place spot. RZM Sean now trying to put the pressure on FSM Gray for the 2nd position with ESV Bobberts right behind him. Oh, I'm sorry, that's JRFE Blade. So Gray now getting some awesome experience at the front with some of the fastest drivers in the league right now. Gray's been improving week in and week out, and look at him go, currently 2nd spot as he got RZM Sean, the points leader, right behind him in the 3rd spot. Sean goes to the outside, he'll take that spot, no problem right there. Gray drops back to the 3rd position now. ESV Bobberts and Adler and cars get by JRFE Blade, who's fallen back more than just a few positions. He's fallen back about 4 or 5 positions now. Barcode now has moved up 4 spots, 5 spots after we recently talked about him. He got by his teammate ESV Cards for the 6th spot. As we pull up the race map, a couple of drivers, early problems. As RZX Warren, your pole sitter, falling all the way back to 18th. Missile Vision 17th. Missile Vision's has a little time now. He's gonna have to fight up to the front. Now FSM Gray now fending off ESV Bobberts for the 3rd spot with Allegro right behind him. And Bobberts gets to the door. He hits him and pushes him a little bit wide there. That gives Bobberts an opportunity to get by. Allegro now trying to make a move as well. She'll throw it down to the inside and take that position right away from FSM Gray. He's got company now. It's ESV Barcode in the 6th spot. He's got ESV Carts as well, not too far behind him. Door to door with one of the best right now. It's FSM Gray battling for the 5th spot with ESV Barcode as they go into the final couple corners here. Barcode with the outside pass for the 5th spot. Gray's doing a really good job up front. He overshot the corner a little bit right there. He'll lose another spot to, I believe, Cards. And now Adler Girl under fire from ESV Barcode for the 4th spot. And side by side they go. Adler Girl able to hang on to the outside, holding her 4th spot from ESV Barcode. They got company coming though. Meanwhile, Remix still is your race leader with points leader RZM Sean about 4/10 away. Sean trying to close in the gap and battle for the position. Adler Girl hugs the inside now, trying to hold her spot, but she gets too deep and gets to the outside, but she's in a good spot now. Door to door with Barcode. It's Adler Girl trying to hang on to the 4th spot. Bobberts loving every second of this. He's starting to get away from them. If you're just tuning in, this is round number 4 of the MEA RSR Cup here at Silverstone with the reverse grid right now. The drivers have pretty much pinned themselves back out. The top drivers back up to the front within 4 laps of this race. Remix currently race leader as Barcode tries to throw it to the outside, and he's gonna get it right there. Adler Girl did not fight for long. She did everything she could, but I think she thought this is better. Got a long race to go. We don't need to hurt ourselves in the championship points. As Bobberts is starting to get away from her, those two have been duking it out throughout the entire series. So she wants to get back on track, doesn't want to play too much defense, and wants to fight her way back up there and battle with Bobberts for position. Meanwhile, it's Remix, currently your race leader, still in front of RZM Sean, battling for the race lead. Remix to the inside of Sean, they're side by side, door to door. Sean trying to take over the lead now. And they touch just a little bit right there. Sean still to the inside, still door to door, but he slides right in front of Remix. And he'll take over the 1st place spot. New race leader, RZM Sean. And we fall back a little bit here. We're back on with Adler Girl, currently still in the top 5 as Bobberts and Barcode are creeping, Barcode is creeping up on Bobberts for the 3rd spot. RZM Sean now in the wide open, gonna try to get away from these guys and gals and try to extend his race lead that he just took from Remix. Great job by Remix for hanging on as long as he could. Now, Roberts having to play some defense as Barcode starting to creep into the picture. We pull up the race map, and boy oh boy, some drivers starting to get distanced out. Ultra, who started up front, he's back in the 14th spot behind his teammates Cam and RZX JJ Reds. Gray still in the top 10, doing a pretty damn good job, darn good job I should say, I do apologize. But you see the growth of some of these drivers, and it's always a really exciting time to see as the series progresses, what have they accomplished up to this point and how they have grown as a driver. Bobbert's now creeping up on Remix. Adler Girl starting to lose ground on Barcode. The battle for the 3rd place right now between 2 teammates, Bobberts and Barcode for 3rd and 4th. Barcode tried to make a move on Bobberts. Bobberts was having none of it, but look at Barcode. He's trying to get it underneath him, just doesn't have enough momentum to get the job done. Right all over the back bumper of Bobberts now is Barcode. Barcode trying to make something happen. He looks to the inside. And Bobberts is just going to give it up. He's not going to fight anymore. He says, you can have it, buddy. I'm not going to be able to hold off for much longer. Bobberts, just like Adler Girl, thinking what's best for his race and his championship running. Probably thinking right now, Sean's out front, Barcode's got the pace, let Barcode try to track him down and battle with him, giving him an opportunity to creep up and try to get that spot from Sean. But right now, they got another guy in the front. We've been talking about him throughout the series and doing a great job here today. It's Remix, who's been sensational all season long, a car he truly loves, and we've seen it week after week after week, the progression. Early in this race, he was able to fight his way through the field, take over the race lead from FSM Gray, held on for a few laps from Sean, but Sean just too tough, was too fast, and got by him, but he's still running in that 2nd place spot. He's got Barcode, Bobberts, Adler Girl, and Karts right behind him, but he's maintaining good quality pace right now. Just stay consistent, Remix, and you're going to be able to get a good result here today. The difference between some drivers, ladies and gentlemen, that don't normally get to battle with the guys and girls that are really quick up front, sometimes get a little too antsy, make too many of those big mistakes because there's too much anticipation and excitement of trying to be up there and battling with them. As you saw, Remix get a little bit too deep into that corner going into the chicane. Barcode was able to get to his rear bumper, but he looks like he's maintained himself really well right now. Driving in the 71 Golf Porsche RSR right now as he's got Barcode all over him. This is a good battle right now. Remix isn't letting it, isn't taking it easy on Barcode. He's going to make Barcode work for this. And Remix is doing a great job holding his line, maintaining that pace. Got a great exit right there. Barcode, very patient right now. Not trying to take super risky shots at Remix. He's just trying to find this weak point and take an opportunity at Remix. Now he's going to give up the spot to Barcode. And Barcode gets right on by. And now it gives Barcode an opportunity to chase down the race leader, RZM Sean, who's got quite a bit of a gap right now between the two drivers. And Bobbert's now going to try to battle with him. Adler's still in front of Karts for the 5th spot. Remix doing a good job sticking tight with Barcode right now, not losing too much momentum. We'll move back and check on Adler Girl real quick. She's still running in that 5th spot, still in front of Karts. These two have been pretty much identical the last handful of laps. 20 laps to go here. Bobbert's now putting pressure on Remix. Bobberts is looking, he's gonna throw it in there. Can he get the room? He does. He gets door to door with Remix now. He lost a driver possibly here in the field. How is this gonna turn out when we get back to Bobberts and Remix? Remix is able to hold on to the inside. We lost Ghost, SMX Ghost I, another disconnect this season. Bobberts now to the inside of Remix, side by side down the straight. Remix trying to maintain the outside. They still stay door to door. Look at the Remix sticking the outside. And Remix fighting him, We get on board with Bobberts here. Remix not giving an inch. Bobberts gets to his door just a little bit. They connect. And Adler Girl takes over the 3rd spot from them. And what a big move by Adler Girl, taking away the advantage right there from those two drivers. She'll get into the 3rd spot. Big opportunity there by Adler Girl. Now Bobberts now fending off Karts. And what a great opportunity for Adler Girl IG. Bobberts and Remix battling for position, got connected to one another. That gave her an opportunity to get on by. Good job by Adler Girl. Taking advantage of another mistake by these two drivers. But Remix is now all over Adler Girl. Remix trying to find some of that speed. I think Remix might be a little quicker than Adler right now, but she's in front. This gives her a good opportunity to try to put some solid laps down as Karts gets into the grass just a little bit and struggling to get back on the racetrack. So it's still a tight battle here to pull up the race map. You see Barcode trying to close the gap on Sean. Further back, a 3-car battle for 8th, 9th, and 10th. As I believe that's Savitar going on by. And look at that, JJ Red's now in the mix as well. JJ to the outside of Riddle EU, trying to take over the 9th place spot. The mid-pack battle right now inside the top 10. Avatar trying to distance himself now. It's got FSM Gray. It looks like he's off track just a little bit. Maybe not, maybe not. I know JJ Reds might want to get to him. They've been battling all season long. I do think these three are coming and faster than as Gray's trying to stay in front of them. Hop back on with Remix. Looks like Cards lost a lot of time when he hit the grass there earlier. He looks like a little sideways. Looks like we're getting into lap traffic now. It's RZX Warren around. What is the start of your race leader and struggling immensely right now in the field. We hop back to that 9th and 10th place battle between Riddle U and JJ Reds as they start closing in the gap on FSM Gray in that 7th spot. Gray's been doing a fantastic job all race long, and now he's got some company once again for a top 10 battle. It's Riddle U and JJ still maintaining pace with SMX Savitar. They're coming. Meanwhile, your race leader, RZM Sean, still out front. Points leader as well. ESV Barcode on the way, looking to battle for position number 1. Sean took the lead back around lap 3 or 4 from Remix. Check on them later. Let's hop back on with the Remix here as he's battling once again with ESV Bobberts for the 4th and 5th spot. Adler Girl now able to get away. I'm not sure what had happened prior to that because he was right on her bumper. Bobberts trying to make a big move to the inside. Doesn't have the speed to match it. Bobberts working Remix. It's been a good battle between these two drivers. Hearts, he's not far away either. He's right there. He's still in the mix. Just had to rebound just a little bit. Adler Girl starting to pull away, and I'm sure she's feeling good right now. The start of the race for her is a little rough, but top 3 right now for her, and not only that, starting to get away from Remix and Bobberts. It's a good opportunity for her to just be relaxed and put down those quick times that she can definitely get. We hop back. Gray's lost a position. Now he's in the middle of a fight here. 3 wide down the straight now. He's in the middle of it. JJ Reds going for 7. JJ Reds goes from 10th to 7th. As soon as they got to him, Riddle U now drops back to the 10th spot. Savitar to the outside of Gray. And I do believe JJ Reds is going for his first top 10 of the season, along with a couple of these other drivers in the mix as well. Gray having problems, not sure if he's got any damage on the car, but he's struggling immensely right now, and he's gonna need to get into a groove because JJ Reds is taking off like a rocket. Oh, he clipped Savitar in the S section. Savitar got real loose. But Savitar back on the racetrack, and Riddle U took advantage of an opportunity, and he'll move up to the 8th place spot. We hop back up front with the Remix now. He's still fending off. Bobberts are side by side off the edge, going across the straight. And Bobberts trying to take it over. Remix trying to find another way around, but Bobberts covers it nicely, and Bobberts now inside the top 5, currently running in that 4th spot. The Carts, throughout all this battling, is now here, and he's going to try to find that way into the top 5 as now he's going to go to battle with Remix, as Remix still trying to work on Bobberts. Remix not giving up on it just yet. He's right at the rear bumper of ESV Bobberts. Bobberts, though, Probably feels a lot better now that he's gotten by, because Remix has been one heck of a challenge for him. And Karts now, he's going to try to take on the challenge and see what he could do here. Karts, you know, he just came back last week for the first time in about a couple of years here at MEA. Hasn't raced a whole lot of fours in a while, but it's good to see him back, and he's going side by side with Remix. Almost. Remix has had a great season. He's not just about to give up another top 5 this season just so easily. He's got a very experienced driver. Karts throws it to the inside. Big dive bomb by Karts, but just doesn't have the momentum, or does he? He's gonna try to take this side by side. Oh my gosh, he almost did, but good job by Remix. Great defense. Karts not done just yet. Oh man. And if you're Bobberts, you're loving it. But Bobberts is in pit road. And ESV Bobberts will be the first driver in pit road, but we have a battle for the race lead as well. ESV Barcode is caught up to RCM Sean. In qualifying, these two drivers were thousandths off of one another. Sean throws a block to the inside, but Barcode now to the outside. Barcode throws it back to the outside again. Sean not going to make this easy on Barcode. It looks like Barcode just has better straight line speed. Sean just making him work for it. Barcode, I think, has a little bit better straight line. $15 laps to go here. We got a great battle all over. Sean ending off one of the best. And Barcode gets back to the outside again. He's been working the outside line on Sean, because Sean's been able to maintain the inside up to this point, making it really, really difficult for Barcode since he's got to him. Karts, on the other hand, has finally gotten by Remix for the 4th spot. In that case, it was net P5. As we stay on board here with the race lead. And it looks like Warren's out of the race too, with 16 cars left on the racetrack. Barcode looks like he got to the inside of Sean. And he does. He gets right underneath him and takes over the race lead. But look at this, Sean fighting right back. And Sean not giving an inch. He throws it to the inside. Just wasn't able to get it done. Barcode able to hang on. And that might be it, but don't count Sean out just yet. Sean's giving him every bit of the car. A good block by Barcode. We'll come back to this battle here in a little bit. Let's hop back there as Remix has gotten passed by Bobberts. Remix made a pit stop, and the battle with carts really affected him. JJ Red's right there as well. He's inside the top 10. Gray's dropped out of the top 10. I think he's made a pit stop, however. Currently battling for the 12th spot with Riddle U. So let's go through the race field while we have a chance here with things kind of dying down, as Barcode still fights with Sean for the first spot here. Sean hasn't given up just yet. Cart's currently running in the 3rd spot, hasn't made his pit stop, just like the other two we're just sitting on. Adler Girl IG currently coming out of pit road, and here she comes. No problem, but she's got ESV Bobberts right there coming, and Bobberts trying to rebound after a little accident earlier on with Remix as they collided together, giving Adler Girl an opportunity to get on by, and ever since she was able to kind of distance herself from them. Bobbert's trying to get back on the move. However, Remix currently running in that 6th place spot. That would be where he is probably going to net when these leaders do pit. Doing a great job today, led a couple laps in this one, trying to find his way back into the top 5. It's RCX JJ Reds, however, inside the top 10. He's been doing a great job and battling with quite a bit of the field, having one of the best races of his season. Said right before the race, I'm finding some really unique pace. He says, I don't know where this came from, but it feels good, and right now it shows quite a bit for the RZX driver and team leader. As we drop back to SMX Savitar, had a little bit of a scruffle there earlier with FSM Gray, which got him all discombobulated, fought back well, currently running in the 8th place spot right in front of this man right here, Riddle U, who has also had a pretty good race. He was in the mix of that fight with Savitar Gray and JJ Reds. Ever since that scuffle, these drivers have slowly been disappearing from one another, but it's been really fun to watch. Missile Vision, he's had not the greatest start to the race, currently in the 10th spot. Not sure if he's going to need to make another pit stop till the end of this race, but fighting back well, not giving up hope, and that's what you got to do as a driver. Never back down. Ronaldo was up to as high as P4 earlier in this race. Has 2% engine damage right now, running in the 11th place spot. Hopefully he's going to be able to hang on, as ARC Samuel currently running in the 13th spot, battling with RZX Cam. I don't know how I passed Cam. Cam goes way wide. Whoa. Yeah, we don't want to be seeing that too much. Bobberts just got by Carts out of pit. We'll have to double check Cam when he gets back around that corner again. Further back, it's RZX Ultra, first time debuting here today. Didn't have the appropriate paint scheme on the car. Noted. FSM Gray outside the top 10, and hopefully pit cycle will help him out a little bit. Had a great start to this race, has been fading back throughout the middle part of the race. As you see Barcode and Sean coming up behind him. It's JRFE Blade. He was in the lead for a moment earlier in this race, but has fallen all the way back to 16th. And he's the last driver on the lead lap, but we might have lost another driver here. And I don't know who we lost. He's now in the 15th, so we'll have to take a late here and look at the top of the screen. Who lagged out? It was Missile Vision. Oh, man. Tough to see that. And Sean now in pit road with Barcode, as Adler Girl is starting to come around here. I don't think she's got enough time gathered to get by him, but the cycle is coming to an end here, as I believe JJ Red still needs to make his pit stop. No, he has made his pit stop and maintains his 7th position. That's pretty great as you look at the race map. He's got a nice little gap on Savitar and Riddle U. Ronaldo back there, as Samuel was able to get by Cam. We hop back on with Cam here. A little battle for the 11th and 12th place spot. So Cam's extending that corner, and that's not okay. Samuel's letting him know about it because that. We'll have to talk about that sometime. Unfortunately. It's alright though, he's a new driver in the league. Not something, you know, that we take lightly, but we definitely want to make sure that the drivers understand the limits of the racetrack and what MEA allows, and that is not one of them. Sean's still hanging tight with Barcode for the race lead. Hartz, I don't think has any problems. He's doing good. Nine laps to go, and Barcode is your leader. So as the field spreads out here, we're just kind of hanging tight. Oh! What just happened there? Barcode had a little bit of a big hiccup, a big sim twitch. Sean gets to close the door just a little bit, but ooh, we almost saw something wild there happen that we don't normally see. Let's hop back to that 11th and 12th place battle between Samuel and Cam. And they're sliding all over the place. Hang on there, Samuel. So Cam's starting to get away from Samuel. I think they're just having a hard time braking in that section. The more that I've watched it, Cam's struggling with braking in that corner. Sure, we got a guy coming behind them, and that's RZX Ultra. Trying to catch up and get into that mix. Sean is still trailing behind Barcode, and they're going through lap traffic. Nine laps left in this one. Still anybody's race at the front. Bobbitt's still trying to track down Adler Girl IG for the third spot. He's right in striking distance, but just got to get a little closer to try to challenge her. This is a battle for points in the standings. Adler Girl and Bobbitt's, they've been duking it out all season long. Tell you what, a driver that really had a flip-flop race was FSM Gray. He's back in 14th. led some of the race and just hasn't been the same since about lap 12. Tough day for what seemed to be so promising. And they're getting ready to do some lap traffic as well. Bobbert's trying to close in that gap on Adler Girl. Meanwhile, Barcode still maintains a good... Sean's closed the gap. Never mind. These two were only thousandths of seconds away from one another, so I mean, they're pretty evenly matched, but qualifying was in the daytime, so officially Missile Vision was disconnected from the race. Something happened with FSM Gray that he wasn't happy about. Not sure what it might have been. Eight laps left here at Silverstone. Bobbert's now all over Adler Girl. He's finally got to her. Maybe lap traffic helped with that, but you don't care. He's trying to get every point he can get right now in the championship. Cart's now getting by Blade behind them. Adler's doing a great job though. Oh, she gets a little wiggly there. She's starting to pull on Bobberts again. Let's pull up the race map, see what other battles are there on the racetrack. Sean's lost ground on Barcode. Samuel Cam, Ultra's caught up to this little battle. Girl's got some good distance on Bobberts again. Top back there with Ultra as he caught up to Cam at 12th place spot. It's Ultra's first time here at MEA, making his debut. got wide. Oh, Cam got really loose there, and Ultra will get on by for that 12th spot. You just see Cam struggling in that corner. That's why he keeps going wide. He's going too deep too early, and that's really affecting his car. And he's just sliding out, so not really helping him at all. As much as it seemed like it might have been earlier, it's clearly making it tough for him. So he's losing more time that way with all that sliding around. But we're back up front here with Adler Girl and Bobberts battling for that 3rd place spot. And Adler Girl threw that car to the inside right there. I am so sorry. I just realized my mic was muted, so I have no idea how long I've been muted. I'm deeply apologizing to everybody that's watching this race. I was just saying that Bobberts and Adler are nose to tail there going into the corner, and she threw a great block. Bobberts looked like he wanted to throw it. Made him go up and check. Only a handful of laps left in this race, and right now Bobbert's working really hard to try to get by Adler Girl for that 3rd spot. Bobberts, oh, Adler gets loose and she checks up just a little bit. Will Bobberts get to the inside? They're side by side now. A little mistake by Adler Girl, but can she get the run off the edge? Door to door here for the 3rd place spot here at Silverstone, the RSR Cup. 1 round to go after today, and Bobberts will take the 3rd spot away from Adler Girl. And she fights back and she throws the car down low. Can she get door to door with him? I think she did. No, she laid off. And during all that battling, cars was starting to close in the gap. Now let's see if Bobberts has the pace to distance himself from Adler Girl. We've seen a lot of great battling here today at Silverstone. Adler hasn't given up, but she got real loose and almost lost the back end of the car right there. Was able to hang on, but wow, she's really pushing the limits right now, that car. Bobberts now starting to get a couple car lengths from Adler Girl. We'll go up to the front where ESP Barcode maintains the race lead. Sean no longer in sight. The challenge. And how about JJ Rez? We're gonna sit on him for a minute. What? Oh, I thought he went through the grass. That was just a weird angle with the darkness, but What about JJ Reds here today, ladies and gentlemen? I believe this is going to be his first top 10 of the series in a car that is really challenging for the young driver, and duked it out all season with FSM Gray, who was in front of JJ early on. Gray, who had the lead at one point battling with Remix, has had some troubles, and I did see in his radio comms through our Discord channel that he is upset about something, I do believe, and so something had happened further in the back of the pack. I'm sure he will let us know later today, but definitely one heck of a day for JJ Reds. And he said before the race, this car feels great. I don't know where I'm getting this pace from, but it's fantastic, and I'm sure a top 10 run for him today is going to feel real good, as he's been working real hard this year as a whole in MEA of driving different vehicles, getting a different groove. He's a NASCAR competitor at heart, but an F1 guy as well. So it's great to see these guys come in and just really take on a task that they aren't used to doing. But great day for JJ Reds. We just wanted to get that, give him a little of a shout out here at Silverstone. Adler Girl IG starting to fall off the pace from ESV Bobberts. Such a great battle today. She took great opportunities, took advantage of an opportunity between her and Bobberts and Remix. Was able to get on by when she was fending off carts. And talk about ESV Barcode and Sean. I mean, they were duking it out there. Sean threw a lot of haymakers. And we've seen so many other drivers in the field. Gray, Blade. I mean, this reverse grid stuff sometimes really works out. Sometimes people really hate it. But it really can provide an opportunity for these younger drivers, some of these drivers that aren't up to pace, to have a chance to race with the best, compete with them, and learn a little bit along the way. So we've seen a lot of different things today. It's been a great race. 3 laps to go. Now the drivers are pretty much spread out up to this point. And FSM Gray, he's moved up to 13th. Cam's possibly in trouble with JRFE Blade, who's creeping up on RZX Cam. And Cam struggled quite a bit today. Blade was another driver that took the race lead early on from Warren, who was up front, now out of this race. Can he get the Cam and battle for that 14th spot? We'll keep an eye on that battle as we got back onto the race leader, ESV Barcode. And Barcode, he's going to need some help going into the final week of the championship. He missed round number 2, had qualified, but the problem with round 2 and qualifying, he only got about 20th, 21st place points because he had missed the race, but it still kept him relevant. The problem is right now, he would need, I believe, Adler Girl, Bobberts, and Sean to all have really tough races next week. Not including that, we can't forget about Remix. Remix has been a sensational competitor all season long. As you see Barcode putting Ultra a lap down. So he's going to need some help out there next week, and hope that some things go wrong for other competitors to win this championship. But RZM Sean has won the first 2 races on the season. These last 2 races, well, last week was Barcode's, possibly again here today at Silverstone. Sean really wanted to have that win today. He threw everything at Barcode as he could at the time. He had the lead for quite a while. Bobberts, who's had an up and down season. One of probably his best results here today at Silverstone. I think we could go as far back as round 1 as his most recent start. And Adler Girl, she's been awesome this season. You know, we talked about a couple of these other drivers growing, and Adler Girl, this is her favorite car. And she's just come in and competed really, really, really well. I think she's had a top 5 every race so far this season. I don't have the sheet in front of me, but I can take a look real quick. Yeah, Adler Girl's had 2 top 5s and 3 top 10s this season, so she's been doing really, really good as well. Same with Remix, 2 top 5s, 3 top 10s. Today was a big day for Bobbers because of Aller Girl in front. She's only about 4 points back in the championship points for second overall behind Bobbers. So that's why Bobbers was driving as hard as he could. And it looks like RZX Cam had wrecked and has to make a pit stop. So Blade will take that position over as we hop on with the race leader with nobody to battle on the racetrack. ESV Barcode, he's only got a lap and a half to go. If you're just tuning in, this is the 4th out of 5 races of the season. Next week is the championship race, 2 p.m. Eastern time here in the United States. And with the clocks changing over in Europe, you're looking at a 6 p.m. GMT time overseas. So we'll see you guys again here next week for a championship race. Really excited as Sean pretty much has this championship wrapped. I mean, he would need something dramatic to happen to lose this championship. It's in his hands right now. Barcode could have been in the championship fight. I mean, if Barcode doesn't miss Monza and still somehow Sean won that race, then they'd be going into the championship finals literally tied. I mean, what could have been? What could have been? Barcode had other obligations to handle, understandably. Just remember, ladies and gentlemen, post-race interviews coming up next here at MEA. We'll talk to the top 5. We'll get a written interview from Adler Girl. She still sits in the 4th spot. Cards probably has had the most dull race out of everybody in the field today. And Barcode only a little ways away from his 2nd win of the season, 2nd in a row in the RSR Cup. At the end of the year, we'll be updating our all-times wins list, stat sheets, and talk about one of the greatest to ever do it here at MEA. Hydra has moved on to other things. Barcode's just won a lot of races this year, and rightfully so, but here he is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, picking up his 2nd win on the season. It's going to be ESV Barcode. RZM Sean threw everything he could at him after losing the lead, just wasn't able to get back there and fight. Takes it home 2nd. Bobbers is going to bring this bad boy on home for 3rd. Adler Girl, great race for her. She's going to bring it home 4th. 5th will be ESV Karts. 6th will be Remix. Remix had another solid day, just outside the top 5 for him. And what a great day, possibly Driver of the Day award winner, RZX JJ Reds, having another, well, I can't say another because we haven't had that moment this year with him, but all the hard work finally paying off for the RZX driver JJ Reds, and a top 10 and a 7th nonetheless. Great job JJ Reds on a solid performance. Really fought through the field with class and just made all the right decisions. He'll bring that home 7th. SMX Savitar, it's nice to see Savitar finally have a decent week. Savitar has been struggling all season long. He's going to bring this bad boy home 8th. As he had a fight with JJ Reds, and this man right here, Riddle U, also FSM great. We can't forget about him. He was in the mix earlier. bring that home 9th. First top 10 in the season as well for Ronaldo Pina. Good to see him in racing action in his debut in MEA. And a good top 10 performance for him, and I'm sure he's going to be very happy with that. First timer here at MEA, RZX Ultra. Gonna try to bring that car home 11th here. ARC Samuel a little too far back, and he's fought back really, really well dealing with this AI right now here of Sean's. ARC Samuel, he was battling with Cam. Pretty much where he's been, 12th. But wasn't a dull race for him at all. And we just sent our interview questions to Adler Girl so that we can hear her thoughts on today's race. And we have the interviews. We'll probably have to do an interview through our Discord with Bobberts. And then we'll get Barcode, Sean, and Karts into the party. FSM Gray, tough day, great. I mean, talk about a tough and great day, great tough day. He led the race, he fought up front to get there, he battled with Remix, lost the lead. As you see, Remix right here is AI. And then fell all the way back to 15th, 16th, and able to bring it home 13th. And not the way he wanted to see his race end, but it's good to see that he was able to pick some spots back up here late in the race. As JRFE Blade, he's going to bring home a top 15. He's going to bring that home 14th. And RZX Cam will bring it home 15th. As we do have a race timer going on, so we'll sit on with the race winner. We'll talk to the race drivers momentarily. Stay tuned for post-race interviews coming up next here at MEA. So there you have it. Post-race interviews coming up next. Hang tight. Just stay tuned. All right, so we're going to get everybody in here. Hanging tight. And we will have a post-race interview here in a moment. So we got everybody in here. Barcode, Cards, and Sean, check off the audio box. I don't think, Bobbert, you have that with your app. And once Bobbert confirms that, we might have to go to the Discord for him, but that's okay. I've done this before. It won't be the first time. All right, so we're doing the Discord with you. All right, so just go ahead and get in the booth there. You can stay in here as well. But we're going to look at the top right. Here's the results, ladies and gentlemen, as ESV Barcode didn't get the greatest of starts here today, but was able to get the job done. RZM Sean was really great early on. So was Remix, as they were able to get through the field really quick. And Bobberts, Adler and Barcode really had to take their time to avoid chaos and carnage. However, we're going to have a post-race interview here. We're going to start with ESV Cards. Make sure your audio is checked off. And Cards, after last week's great performance at Indianapolis, you bring another good one here today at Silverstone, starting at the rear of the field with the other fast competitors. It looked like it took some time for you, just like them, to get through the field, but for the majority of your race, you didn't really have much to battle with. You were doing more of a, I'm here, but I'm not really here. You were just kind of on the outskirts of the battles, and you were trying to get in the mix. Take us through today, and how difficult was this race for you?
Yeah, it was pretty lonely for me. I had a really good start, but I got behind Adler Girl and she twitched, and then I had to hit the brakes and I got passed by like seven people. So I was kind of like trying to recover from there. And honestly, I don't think my tune was that good. All my practice was in the pre-race lobby, and I didn't realize how bad my gears were until I got around the other cars. So I think if it wasn't for that, I probably could have been up a little bit farther, but it was okay.
And you come in with a little bit of rust this series, first time back in MEA in probably a couple of years. We talked about it before. How between these last 2 weeks, and we hope to see you back next week. Just how nice is it to get back into the swing of things, get back into a crowd that you once were running, for so many years, and you take that little hiatus, however long it may have been, and come back. Just how does that feel? Transitioning back to something that you once were consistently on a regular basis, competing.
It's it's fun. It's kind of tricky because I'm still not great at like controlling the car every time I make a mistake or anything like that. But it's nice kind of getting back into it. Hopefully, I can speed up and get a little farther ahead than fifth.
Well, nonetheless, you were able to put on a good performance today, and you had some battles there though with Remix and Bobberts, and just you were able to get by Remix, but after that, it just seemed like you weren't able to get to the other drivers. What was the challenge to that, and why were you struggling so much to get back up there? Because you were running pace with them for a while.
Yeah, before the race started, I just took off a bunch of rear aero just in like a last ditch a last ditch effort to try and get some pace, and I was super bad through Maggots and Beckett's. So it made it really hard for me to catch anybody.
Well, nonetheless, congratulations on a top five performance. It's always good to talk to you, Carts. Hopefully, we'll see you in the championship race next week, and congratulations, and glad to have you back, like I said.
Thank you.
Now it's ESV Carts, fifth overall today's race, as he didn't see much action out there, but he was definitely in the mix. Hopefully we'll see him back next week as we move up to fourth place finisher Adler Girl IG. I don't know if she's responded to her questions just yet, so we'll move on as I don't see that they've been answered. So we'll move on to ESV Bobberts, and Bobberts, what a great day for you to finish third overall. I know you have high expectations for yourself. This series has been really challenging for you. Things haven't always gone your way. You've been very disappointed in your performance. But today, everything seemed to click as the race came on. And you got into it with Remix early on. Let me get to the Discord link so we can get your take if you're in there yet. Not in there yet, but you can get in there for me. But after that little hit with Remix, you definitely kind of just put on the boosters and fought your way back in there, and then there you were with Adler Girl late in the race. But we still need you in the interview booth in Discord. There he is. Can you hear me now?
I was in the wrong chat.
He was in the wrong chat. All right, well, go ahead and take us through everything that we just talked about there.
A little bit through the field a little bit, and obviously lost the place to Sean, which wasn't ideal. I was hoping to keep him behind, but nevertheless it was made the way through at least unscathed pretty much, and but then obviously had that we had Remix and I had some Forza glue later on, and it cost both of us time obviously in places, and I think obviously that cost me any chance on catching and battling with the top two, but at least I managed to recover to that third place after a good, some good battling.
And I did have my mic muted for a minute, but good, we got the majority of that. But sorry about that. But But no, Bobbers, you and Adler Girl have been going at it all series long. It seems like you two have been pretty evenly matched throughout week in and week out. Today you bested her, and you get to extend that points battle with her a little bit. You already had about a few points gap on her going into this race. Now you add a little bit more to it. But what's been the biggest challenge for you battling with her and Remix, and what's been kind of insightful for you throughout these battles?
No, as you said, yeah. I mean, we are fairly even on pace. What I lack it seems to have been, is the consistency. It seemed to have been a bit better tonight. Silverstone is one of my stronger tracks, but there's still a few tens that need to be, I need to find. So, and again, as you said so briefly earlier, I do have high standards. Once again, I don't think I'm meeting those standards of my own, but it's I guess it's in some ways just car specific, and maybe the Porsche just isn't my sort of car, I guess you could say. But it's been a fun series, obviously, overall. I was just trying to hope and pray tonight to claw a few points back on Sean, but obviously that never happened. So just going to go into next week, hopefully but obviously have some fun and maybe get a better position, finishing third, as to what I've had 3 times already this season.
And you talk about that championship run. You and Adler Girl are right there in the fight for the finals. Same with Remix. A lot needs to go all 3 of your guys' ways in order to win that thing. Adler Girl and you have been doing great. Remix has been phenomenal. But Sean's been on a whole level this season, and Barcode missing 1 race has really gave Sean the gap he needed to be comfortable going into the championship final. What needs to go your way, and what is it going to take to not only do that, but also have to fight Adler Girl if you have any chance of winning the title next week?
I mean, realistically, there's slim to no chance whatsoever. Especially with the way that Sean's been driving, not only for this series but in the GT series as a whole. So it's going to take a miracle. I'm just going to, I think, in some essence, just settle for second overall and just finish ahead of Adler Girl and Remix, and maybe, like I said, just consolidate that second place finish again, but hopefully maybe go out with a bang, perhaps. Maybe at least get a win. That's the target, is at least maybe win next week.
And obviously, those are the expectations you hold to yourself every single week. But congratulations. It's good to see you bounce back. It's been a really frustrating season for you here in the RSR Cup. But we hope to have another good performance by you next week. And good luck to you going into that championship finale.
Thank you.
And that was ESV Bobberts, ladies and gentlemen, finishing 3rd overall today here at Silverstone. It's always good to have a chat that we can make happen because he right now doesn't have the mic. But we did get words back from Adler Girl, the 4th place finisher, after a great battle, a great fight. Almost was able to take the cake in the top 3 podium. And she got back to some of our questions, said she was super nervous as always. It's actually getting worse week by week. I've had some good fights, sometimes really sweaty. I'm satisfied nonetheless. Bobbers is one of my favorite competitors in this series, along with Remix, like more of. So Adler Girl happy with today's events, very, very nervous. She feels that the competition is really high here at MEA, so it's always good to hear from her. But she's been doing a great job nonetheless. And we'll move up to 2nd place, runner-up. RZM Sean, and Sean, man, you had the start you wanted today, but Barcode, man, he just came after you, and you tried to fight back, but just wasn't enough, and as the race came to an end, you kind of started fading off there, but you had one heck of a fun race. It seemed like you battled your way up really fast, but just take us through it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It was a fun race. I mean, even though I didn't get the win, I still put up a bit of a fight. I felt like it was always going to happen, that Bucket was going to get past eventually. I just I didn't expect the run he had going into that corner where he did, but I just started to struggle with the consistency late in the race and dropped back maybe a bit more than I would have wanted to, but I mean, I really can't complain with my performance.
We talked about it, and I know it's kind of beating a dead horse, but your driving style is getting more and more aggressive. It seems like every single week, especially when you get with not Bobbers, but Barcode. And as soon as he took that lead from you, you didn't wait. You said, I gotta try to fight back for this right now. You took a couple of shots, got a little loose there, but was that your thought process as soon as he got by, that I have to make this happen now?
Yeah, I mean, I felt if I was ever going to get it back, it had to be immediately, try and catch him off guard maybe. I felt once he settled, the consistency and pace he has over me, he was just gonna slowly increase that gap. I didn't feel like I was gonna really gain on him at any point.
Now,
Yeah, go ahead.
Now, before the end of that, I do apologize for cutting you off, but did you feel like you had a comfortable enough lead that you could have drawn that out to the end until he got to you? Did you feel like early on you got up front so quick that there's no way that anyone should be able to catch me if I just maintain my consistency?
Maybe if Buck had crashed, but no, I felt like I didn't know when it was going to happen, but I felt like we were at least going to battle. I did manage to hold him off for a few laps, which I felt like I could maybe do, but yeah, I always felt like he was catching me. I mean, every lap, the gap was getting a bit smaller.
And then obviously, Sean, you have pretty much this championship wrapped up. I know that you have the concern of your PC going out on you at any given moment. We've talked about it in the past. But right now, you have the championship in your hands, and just like I asked Boberts, what do you need to play in your favor next week to maintain that comfortability and seal the deal?
Good internet. I mean, I'm more than aware that anything can happen. I've just got to hope that whatever does happen, it's not bad enough to sort of take away that championship win. I like to think I've done enough throughout the season. That's what I've been working towards to cover that off. But we'll see. Anything can happen.
Well, you have 2 wins on the season. Barcode now has 2 wins on the season. Not only are you competing for a championship, but are you trying to cut that away and take home? I have more wins than you at the end of the series.
I'd love to have more wins, but Buckhead's an amazing driver. If I had to pick one driver to win next week, it'd be him. But we'll see. I'll certainly give it my best shot.
Well, congratulations, 2nd overall today. We'll see you in the championship finale. Another good result for you.
Thank you.
And that was RZM Sean, 2nd overall, and the man of the hour, ESV Barcode. And Barcode, out of all the drivers that started in the back of the pack, that started qualified up front, you didn't have the best start of that race. You actually were sitting probably, I believe, 11th or 12th early in that race while everybody else was already getting through the traffic. What happened early on that created that problem for you, but how easy, or I should say, what was the game changer for you to finally cut through the field so quickly to get up front?
Yeah, my start was pretty poor. I kind of just kept choosing in the wrong spots to go around people, kind of wash into my line and just couldn't get past people. I did get, after I cleared the initial bunch of cars, it was quite easy to pass people with the lower downforce I was running. It gave me loads on the straights, which made it quite easy afterwards.
And, we talk about the patience level. When you get these reverse grids, it's one of the hardest things for a fast driver, or I should say a faster driver in the field, is to be patient, is to wait for those opportunities, because a lot of times it ends up into possibly a catastrophe where there's engine damage, there's body damage, you got to make that extra pit stop early on, and it pretty much ends your race. How much of the patience was it for you early on, and just kind of like, we got a long race, let me take my time? Or were you just like, hey, I'm just trying to make these passes now? What was going through your head?
I was kind of being half patient, half kind of aggressive. I kind of knew I had to get by quickly with Sean and Remix, and the others getting through it a lot better than I did. So I was I had a couple sketchy moves where I was a little impatient, should have maybe waited an extra corner, but it's all right other than that. I was pretty patient, I'd say.
And was there concern once you realized everybody was already getting to the front, especially where Remix was the first one up there? But did you feel like you were too far behind early on to really close that gap as the race was going to progress?
Yeah, I thought it was kind of a bit over already, kind of on early laps because how much of a gap they built, but had good pace, very consistent, and they managed to bring it back towards about the midpoint of the race and eventually overtake Sean and keep it.
And that move that he tried to pull back on you, were you ready for his offensive strike as soon as you got by for the race lead?
Yeah, I definitely was. Kind of kept checking behind to make sure to cover him if he did go for something.
Well, nonetheless, Barcode, another win on the season, 2 in a row here in the RSR Cup. We were just talking about on stream earlier, if you didn't miss round 2, but Sean was still able to pick up the win back at Monza, and you now pick up 2. This would be a neck-and-neck race to the end, and you had other obligations earlier this season, but going into the championship finale, probably not probably no hope of getting a title here. What's your focus going into next week, and how are you going to get that job done? It seems like Sean's starting to really start to get closer to match you every series we've seen. So it seems like you're finally getting that competition that you haven't had in a while.
Yeah, I mean, I think the best I can hope for is third in this. Bobbitt's and Sean are just too far away. I'm just gonna do the best I can around Daytona. It's my best track, I'd say, so I think I have a good chance around here.
And Daytona is one of those tracks that seems like the pack, even if, people have talked about it, and maybe you have an opinion on this, but a lot of competitors think that Daytona is one of the best tracks for just about any driver to compete at a really good level and stay consistent and maintain that gap between the leaders and themselves. Do you feel like that's a place that, with the draft, it kind of does that to itself?
Yeah, the draft's probably what keeps it so close. The draft's just really strong around there, especially in like higher end cars with downforce. It's really easy to keep it together, and the corners are pretty simple as well, other than like turn one and the bus stop, so it's not hard to lose time around there.
And I remember the last time we were at Daytona, it was back in the GT Championship Series. You and Design were kind of going at it. From that previous race not long ago, what's going to be some of the biggest factors and the biggest challenges for that race?
I guess just a slipstream, I guess. I mean, and tune as well. It's a very tune-dependent car, this, so I guess I have to make multiple steps and see what works best.
Well, nonetheless, congratulations on a win today. I know you had to work hard for that one. A lot of battling with Sean, but congratulations on the win, and we'll see you next week, Barcode.
Thank you.
And that was ESV Barcode, your race winner. Everyone left the lobby, so now you're enjoying the pace car on stream. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. ESV Barcode, your race winner. RZM Sean led a lot of laps today, just wasn't able to get the job done. Second overall. Third with the ASV Bobbers after redeeming himself after a couple tough weeks. Then we had Adler Girl IG, fought as hard as she could, was able to maintain fourth, and a boring, dull race for ESV Karts, who was able to maintain a top 5. I'm SSR Mayhem. Thank you for watching. We'll have the championship race, champion, a new champion nonetheless, in a new series. Next week, same time, same place. Everyone have a great day and have a good night wherever you are in the world. I'm SSR Mayhem. Thank you for watching.